Hello, in this video I'm going to explain how to read a serialized objects back to the JVM. So now we have here a products.dat. If I open that in a text editor, it is more like a garbage because it's just a binary data. It contains some bytes that text editor tried to interpret as text. However, we have written that using a program which takes a series of objects such as product objects and then writes that into a file. Now, we would like to read it back. To read that, let's write a program. So, we will add a main function, and in the main function, we want to read the file. So, we need a file input stream, and all the file APIs throw exceptions. Let's throw it away from the main for now. So, we'll create a file input stream. File equals to new file input stream, and we will also give the name of the file, which is products.dat. Now that we have a file input stream, the file input stream class itself does not provide any read function that can return an object because it is not meant for that. Now, what we want to do is we want to read the data from the file and treat it as an object. So we'll consider using object input stream, which is a class which implements an interface called object input. The object input provides a function called read object that can help us. Now that we have this object input stream, we can have a look at what are the methods available in that. As you can see that there are many read functions. One of them is read object, and the read object is actually going to return an object that it reads. Now, let's see if we can read. We'll say object obj equals to in.read object. Now it goes to this particular file and tries to see the class information about that. So if I look at this, we can see that our class name itself is also part of the file. So now it constructs an object at this point in time and then passes all the values from the products.dat into this particular object. So I can find out what exactly is that object. So I can print obj. Now remember, our product class has a toString function. The toString will print the members of that particular object, and we will close the input stream and the file at the end. Let's execute and check if that works. And as you can see that we should be able to get our product details intact. So if I want the next object, then I may have to do this repeatedly. So second time when I execute this, we should see the second product along with the first one. And then when I copy this and paste it once more, you will see that we get the third object too. Now what would happen if I try to do this fourth time, because we do not have the fourth object in the class in the file. As you can see that we encounter an EOF exception, which means we can repeatedly do this in a loop and wait for an exception called EOF exception to be thrown. And once EOF exception is thrown, we can actually stop the loop. So I'm going to surround this with a while loop. And then I'll put a true, indicating that it's an endless loop. And we can surround this with a try catch and handle EOF exception only to break the loop. So once the loop is broken, we come out, we close this. So when I execute this now, we get all the products one by one. Every object input stream read operation will go to this particular file and tries to read the data. You can avoid multiple file reading from the disk by using a buffered input stream, and we'll call it as BIS equals to new buffered input stream of the file object. And then we can supply this buffered input stream for this. So as you can see, there is no errors in our code. And when I execute this, you should not see any errors here too. So there is no visible change by adding this, but performance wise, this is much better because we are now avoiding number of hits to the actual disk.